28 Shane Richardson, Richard Cooper, sorry, on the letter 3 there, Sloane Frost in row 2. Sloane Frost in row 2. We've got James Hookenboosum there and the letter E, Lockie. Epis from Australia off there. They had 2 warm-up laps, 2 sighting laps because of the changing conditions, and they're underway there, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, Damon Rees, what a great start. And I politely asked the Rees boys to see if they could swap helmets for the weekend, so we'll be able to tell them apart. Richard Cooper dives up the inside, so he's got a great start, but look at that, there's a little bit of water out there, so a little bit tricky conditions. Let's see if it plays out right, but this is a 10-lap race, so it's all on here, and looks like Richard Cooper from the UK got a great start from the outside of row 1. He's flying at the moment. Then we've got the 2 Rees boys, second, third as well, and looks to be maybe one of the Yamahas there, and there's another there's a Suzuki in 4th place as well, and they've got the Yamaha 5, 6 at the moment. We'll try and catch them. Lee Johnson got a better start than he got yesterday as well. You can see the bright pink helmet. He's sitting in about 7th place at the moment. So all on here, we've got 14 out on track, and all very classy riders here in F1 Action, Spider.
Absolutely magic to have Lee Johnson here. He's been here 2 years ago, come back out there. But what's more interesting to me is that the M1 Motorsport bike, the BMW S1000 RWR transport team from Tauranga are back on the racetrack. They've had this bike out there. They've had this team out here with Linda McGee, Sloane Frost, Alistair Hoogenboosum, and a number of riders out of the year. And now they've picked an international. It's great to have Moggy and the team back out here. And they're running orphan tyres to someone else, Bridgestone. But it was proven last year in the New Zealand Superbike Championships that Bridgestone was a competitive option because, in fact, Alistair Hoogenboosum won on Bridgestones. I think that was 2 years ago. So great to have that team back out here. And somebody running over there on the grass there, that was number 19. Number 19 is indeed Dave Sharp. Yeah, he got away with it there. But right now leading is the letter C, the Internationals wear letters. But he's been hounded by Damon Rees, who set a lap record in this class yesterday.
Yeah, they're already in the 132's first lap around, so they're not mucking around here, Spider. This is all on. Richard Cooper, what a great young man to have over here. He is the British Superbike Championship Super Stock 1000 champion, and coming over here to show us his class. Lachlan Epis, he's had a great start as well, running 3rd place ahead of Mitchell Rees in 4th. So great to see the 2 international riders in the Sloane Frost Racing team already dicing it with the Rees boys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you can throw a blanket over them as they scream around turn 9. And Damon Rees, he's not going to want to stay in 2nd place. This is going to be all on, I reckon, Spider.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's no... well, the gloves are off when you've got the Superbike racing out there, or Formula 1, as they call it here, and it's a long game. A lot of these people are using this. It's an entire series, Suzuki International, and a lot of kudos here. They've also got the New Zealand Superbike Championships, so they're breaking things apart here and learning what to go. The New Zealand Superbike Championships will be running at this track, will be running at Manfield as well. Look at that. That's look at that.
Yeah, Mitchell Rees is straight on the grass. So Mitch Rees overshoots turn 12 and 13 there. So he rejoins around the outside, but there we go. So the update's going to be Richard Cooper, Damon Rees, and then Lachlan Epis. Lachlan Epis, the man on the mission at the moment. He was a 1:29.1, so the fastest man on track that time around, and around the outside into 2nd place. So there we go. Richard Cooper looks like he might have missed a gear coming out of turn 1, but doesn't seem to have affected his position. So Suzuki 1-2 at the moment with Damon Rees in 3rd place, and Mitchell Rees lucky to keep that on 2 wheels on the grass.
I wonder if he's got wets on, because they almost act like a knobbly tyre in comparison to a road slick, of course. But if they were slicks, man, that was full credit. Did the right thing, didn't touch the brakes, didn't touch the throttle, coasted through there. A credit to the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park crew for the way they've groomed that area, because a lot of other tracks would not have it as smooth and neat as that. That was beautiful. Well done and well saved there by Mitch. That's the last thing we wanted to see happen. He did not gain advantage. Gone to the yellow down there.
Yeah, Lee Johnson. Yeah, Lee Johnson just crashed into turn 1 there. We can see the bright pink helmet. He come through, across the line in 7th place, but unfortunate stuff for him as we see them go out of sight down into turn 11. Awesome little tight left-hander. Great to see these 2 international boys. That's why it's called the Suzuki International Series. All the top riders we've brought from all over the world. The British Super Sport Super Stock 1000 champion, along with Lachlan Epis. He's had Super Sport 600 World Superbike experience. He's had Australian Superbike experience, and 1-2 at the moment for Suzuki New Zealand. So we're into the flip-flop. It is C, and then go back to the L of Lachlan Epis, E, sorry, and then the 2 Rees boys. So Mitchell Rees back on the gas after his little off-track excursion. So all on here, and that is 7 laps to go still. So we're on here.
Letter C, letter E. The way it's going to be when you go down to do the prize presentation, it looks like going to be a line-up for Scrabble. isn't it?
What word could be spelled, Spider?
CE. Oh, no. Don't even start me on that. I don't want to put money on the swear jar.
Yeah. I see the latest one is the reindeer saying to Santa, it's your turn to play, and he's got the word venison sitting in front of him, ready to put onto the table. So, yeah, quite a nice little skit on that one. It's all Merry Christmas time, of course. So there you go, talking about Scrabble. In fact, SC, with those letters, we could have at least the word Scrabble to be started with, but that's about the lot of it. So there it is. Neat to have Richard Cooper, a man of that calibre, with us, the UK rider. And on that, of course, Fitta Fujitsu Racing, see those beautiful Suzuki GSXRs with the Sloane Frost Racing Suzuki New Zealand colours. So flying supreme as Damo stays behind him, doing all the right things there at the moment. I wonder whether those guys are a little bit more experienced in those changing weather conditions that we've got at the moment, but Damo doing the right thing to hang with him. And how's Mitch recovered from that incident, let alone the fact that he had a wildfire run off the side of the track? He's just lost nothing from it, and he's just straight back on the gas and glued to the tail of those boys. Look at the four of them, equidistant coming down that back straight. That is so good. There's a battle in a class all of their own. Two Suzukis lead the two Hondas to go through as we see two international riders from UK and Australia in front of our two Kiwis, our two Kiwi brothers, the Rees brothers extraordinaire, that is Demon Damo and Magnificent Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely flying the Team Rees boys. They're right in behind the two Suzuki. A big mention there for fifth place. Alistair Hugenbo's on the Yamaha R1. His teammate Jake Lewis in sixth behind him. Daniel Medham, our defending New Zealand Superbike champion, he finds himself in seventh place. Then Sloane Frost just dropped back to eighth, but that's a great battle there. So the guys in sixth, seventh, eighth and ninth. There's a four-way fight there, and it's got a 1 and 2 New Zealand and top 5 New Zealand. So some really cream racing there all over this F1 racing. We've still got 6 laps to go, so nothing decided yet. But Richard Cooper, this is a class act. He's just turned up to New Zealand just less than a week ago and already leading F1 action. So brilliant stuff. Thanks to White's Power Sports and the new Reacher leathers. And see Scotty Moyer, number 2 NZ, he's running the new Reacher leathers for this season with the Bridgestone tyres. So awesome to see CD Vandermeer Builders team shaking things up a little bit, and big welcome to them down in pit lane. So we go racing out of sight down into turn 11, and it is still the Suzuki 1-2 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm always interested in lap times and that, and Taupo Motorsport Park, Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, seems to bring out the absolute almost evenness, and we got less than 0.15 of a second separating those top 4. Even with that long straight, I see that Mitch Rees dropped off the pace a little bit there. But it seems to bring that about. But right now, look, even after 4 laps of a superbike race here, Formula 1 race, we're now with less than about 2 bike lengths between a change of position there, was there? The Honda poked its nose through.
Yep.
But then the Suzuki of C, Richard Cooper, comes back with Lachlan Epps with those colourful leathers there in third place. As I said earlier on, when he was doing the Gixxer Cups, I went to Phillip Island this year to the MotoGP, my first one, and Lachlan Epps was the fastest domestic superbike there, 304 kilometres an hour, and he was equally at home on the little wee 150 Gixxer Cup machine. Lockie Epps came out here about 5 or 6 years ago with his father, I think, Greg, and he was running in the development class, and look at the way he's gone ahead in the international scene, and back out here, or coming out here, back out in New Zealand, and for his first Suzuki International Series, Brad. Yeah,
absolutely. I went and saw World Superbikes 2 years ago in Phillip Island, and he had a wildcard entry for the World Supersport 600 there, so absolutely brilliant to see just such a young man. I don't even think he's 20 years of age yet, and just to see him, how far he's already come, and showing his class here, running third place, but Damon Rees right on the back of Richard Cooper now, so with at half race distance, it's going to be on here, I think, and Mitchell Rees just dropped off that trio a little bit, but still has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:28.52, so about a second off what we were doing yesterday, so still maybe the damp conditions.
1:27.1 yesterday was the lap record set by Damon Rees at the end of the day, 1:28.9, and we got about the similar wind in that, but what that rain would have come through and done is cool the whole place down and that, but they're all running consistently at the moment, and Mitch Rees is now piled onto the back of them. There was a gap developing there, but now he's getting closer and closer to Lachlan Epps. So Suzuki, Honda, Suzuki and Honda into turn 1 and out turn 1. Then we go to Yamaha, and Yamaha, I think, I was looking at the screen there, so Yamaha and Dan Medham, on the Suzuki on the number 1. Normally runs the number 34, but he won the New Zealand Superbike Championships here at Taupo, the final round last year, and proudly wears the number 1, Dan Medham.
Yeah, great weekend that was here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and just a handful of points. I think it was 1 or 2 points he ended up winning the title by, so drama-filled final round. But have a look at this. Richard Cooper's got the infield really sussed out. He's looked very neat and tidy. He's coming out of turn 7, but Damon Rees seems to find a little bit around the sweeping left-handed turn 8 and then into turn 9 as well. So looking for a little bit of a dive up the inside. I think he might have it done. So Damon Rees, he's gone in a little bit wide. Richard Cooper cut back on the inside. There's nothing in it. They're going to be side by side as they break for turn 11. They go out of our sight, but it's all on here. The top 4 guys are fighting it out. We're on frantic pace, and we've still got 3.5 odd laps to go. So here we go. We've got Shane Richardson. He's pulled out of this one, so he's been battling with the bike all weekend. Unfortunate stuff for him.
He had a bad start yesterday, then trying to challenge, I think, Jake Lewis up at turn 11. He run off the track, and he's just, so something gone on early on. Change of position for the lead there. That is Damon Rees there. Dives in on the front. That's a big balls move, really. Simply off that long straight into turn 12 here at Taupo.
Yeah, there it is. Damon Rees, Richard Cooper, Okanapis and Mitchell Rees. So Mitchell having a little look, not quite close enough to challenge for 3rd place. But we've still got 3 laps to go. It's all on here. And Richard Cooper, yeah, like I say, he's got this little infield series of corners all sussed out. So hopefully look to challenge Damon Rees here. But this is great racing. What the fans have come to see F1 racing here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park.
Hey, one of the neat things we're all seeing, folks, is the fact that we've just witnessed Damon, of course, who's had a season in Australia and doing superbikes over there for the first time. So a whole season of it. And look at the improvement. Look what he's come to the card with here in New Zealand to see racing. And that's what you want to see from you guys that are making that huge investment, costing them thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to do that kind of investment. And where's the reward for it? And coming back to New Zealand and dominating racing like this. So I love that fact that they haven't been dormant. They haven't said, well, we're saving to do more racing in New Zealand. They're investing in their future by going overseas. And special congrats, of course, to Shane and to that man, Damon Rees, on their opportunity to go to the UK and race over there with British Superbikes next year. So that is just incredible.
You mentioned the word dormant there. I'm going to go back to the Scrabble game. And imagine the Rees sitting around there playing Scrabble and the letters dormant come up there. They wouldn't know what it meant because that family's nothing but dormant. Certainly, I think Damon's going over to the UK as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to reflect on. So my apologies if that message didn't come out. So there we are, back to look at him, Demon Damo, and pulling out that little bit of a buffer. And the one to watch for now will be Mighty Mitch back in there with a chance to look on Lockie's inside. Now you watch it, potentially a chance to see him. He's hearing his shadow, and he may even have a go down at the corner this time. So just looks to get that dab and the advantage. Will it be this time? No, he'll be patient and wait for his best opportunity. But Brad looking out in front of the moment, and now that Damo has gone for it and made the break, he is pulling clear.
Yeah, clocked in a 1:27.6 that time round, fastest man by over a second.
Ooh.
That would have been a lap record yesterday. We came here with a 1:27.727, I think, so that would have been a lap record yesterday. And in these challenging conditions, that's incredible.
And to remember, of course, what we're talking about with lap records, folks, these are not lap records for superbikes. These are lap records for Formula One. This is a different class to the one that we race on under the rules and regulations of NZSBK. So we're actually seeing a different class today. So that's why we talk about lap records changing. Some of the classes, and these are good examples of where the class is different. So therefore, the lap record is different. So potentially, you'll get a faster lap record with a Formula One than you will under NZSBK. So this is the fastest motorcycle to have ever gone round this circuit. That's the key factor, folks. You're looking at it, and it happened here yesterday, and it's potentially a chance to happen here today. As Spider has well pointed out, the washing of the track has played its part, but I tell you what, now with that sun to come out again, we'll start to warm up and see even better times in the second race coming up shortly, courtesy of Reacher, this brand new name in premium European motorcycle apparel.
Absolutely. So a little bit of a light breeze as well. They'd have to dry the track out. So we've got some pretty good conditions out there. But here we go. Damon Rees, he clocks the white flag up. 1 lap to go and a 1:27.9 that time around. So doesn't improve on his fast lap. But Richard Cooper, he put his fastest lap of the race in. He's a 1:27.9. So he's 0.8 of a second back. And the battle for 3rd and 4th, that's really starting to heat up. Mitchell Rees, he's looking for where he can make a move. Lachlan Epps is absolutely fantastic under brakes. So where's Mitchell going to find the time? We've also got Al Hoogie in 6th place, but Daniel Medham's up ahead of him. So good work from Dan. There we go with Mitchell Rees.
I've got to acknowledge Scotty Moyer, number 2 in the New Zealand Superbike Championships. I think he was the winner of the Suzuki Series last year. Mate, he was crook yesterday. He looked like the north end of a southbound cow. So he's back in number 9th position. He is as sick as a dog this weekend. It's a bit of a tragedy because it's his local track. He's got a lot of his fans out there. So Scotty's not got a lot of airtime, and that's unfortunately the situation. Also, some of those people at the tail end, Jaden Carrick, James Hugenbosom, he had a big crash yesterday and banged his shoulder around. He said, I'm really struggling with brakes. And James Hugenbosom, brother of Alistair. Alistair's up there in 6th spot, and Lee Johnson unfortunately out. So right now, Damon Reed, Richard Cooper along the straight. The white flag is out. They've only got 3 corners to go, but it's all about that 3rd, 4th place. That's the battle I'm going to look at there. Brad Ritchie, you take it to the line, please.
Here we go through the flip-flop. There's not much in it, but as long as Damo Rees can get out of turn 14 nice and neat and tidy, he's got a job done. 92, Damo Rees takes the F1 race 2 win for the weekend. Richard Cooper, an awesome job. He was right there in the end. Lachlan Epps is going to take 3rd ahead of Mitchell Rees, so that was hammer and tongs the whole race, and what might have been if Mitch didn't quite make an off-track excursion. Daniel Medham, our SBK champion, he's in 5th place. Alistair Hugenbosom finishes in 6th ahead of his teammate Jake. So Jake Lewis there on the 2nd of the Yamahas in 7th place. Sloane Frost in 8th, and Scotty Moyer in 9th place with a bit of a fitness cloud hanging over him. Still waiting for Jaden Carrick on the Wanganui Well Drillers ZX10 there. He goes through in 10th place, and then James Hugenbosom and Dave Sharp 11th and 12th position. So what a classy top 12 that was. But Damo Rees didn't quite get the race underway how he wanted, but just made the moves when it counted, and then went away with this one. So Damon Rees first, Richard Cooper in 2nd, and Lachlan Epps in 3rd place. That's your podium. We'll cross to Neil Ritchie, who will have our presentation.